Yeah, I've seen a lot of maybe Spanish as
I've
well.
seen, for example, Loiza
Hmm.
picks Vikings sometimes in this tournament, but
Mongol War it is.
yeah,
So good prediction there. And it looks like we're going to see Dogao playing in blue once again in as Mongols towards the bottom of the map, and towards the top of the map we have Yo playing in red also as Mongols, which means next game we're going to get a team random if we get a next game, that is. Looking
yeah,
at
and again,
yeah.
it's another wild map here where we're gonna see a lot of feudal aggression probably determine the game because they're
Hmm.
quite close, or well, they're I don't know an average distance, I guess, but neither of their bases is too easy to defend. Dogao's living in a crater here, kind of in the middle of the map a little, and Yo is he's out in the desert, surrounded by hills. His map is terrible.
Yep. So both of them have pretty terrible maps. I mean, at least Yo's got his main goal towards the backside, but he has no really good forest to put a lumber camp on. It's going to be these two forests towards the right-hand side that he will have to keep control of. Makes sense since his main goal will be in the vicinity, so he's likely to just wall it off a little bit as a nice cliff that extends from the edge of the map that can help him with that. As for Dogao, if we're looking at his map, his main goal is forward, right near the top of the crater, which means that it's also very easily harassed. He does have slightly better wood lines compared to Yo. A couple towards the back, but a little further away, and I'm hearing boar steel. Yeah.
Oh, Yo. Oh, and it was the boar that Dogao was just going to lure as well.
Okay, well.
That's doubly painful.
And looks like Yo managed to steal a sheep while he was at it.
Yeah, and now Dogao's also got to be careful. His other boar lure looks like it'll come off without a hitch
It should be fine.
down a pretty big hill.
Yep. And in the meantime, Yo going for his first boar. He should be okay. Gotta be careful though. He is luring that boar back in from Dogao's base at the same time, so he's got to garrison that bill up nice and fast. And yep, so not too bad for him. We'll get that boar in nice and safely, and no problem there. Dogao, on the other hand, has yet to find Yo, so he can't go for the counter boar still just yet. Might be able to do so once he finds that boar right at the front for Yo. But Yo's going for it already, so never mind, not gonna happen. Oh no? Misclick? Okay. Excuse me.
It's a nice boar lure or
Mm-hmm.
boar steel.
Very nice. And it looks like Yo will go for that second boar now that he has Loom. Dogao in the wrong position to get the counter boar steal, and like you said, how can you say no to a boar steal as Mongols, right?
It's a big advantage.
It is
And
indeed.
Dogao doesn't really have any way to get back into this. I mean, there's deer at the back here he's going to take, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, Yo's definitely got a
Ah,
large
Yo's doing that TC
advantage.
thing again that I hate. You know, where he
He's
risks it?
been he's been doing it pretty much every game, I think. I saw it in the
Dogao trying to
first
steal a
game.
sheep. Well, that's
Yeah.
just going to be a counter steal since Yo did steal a sheep from him. I don't think he even realizes that yet.
Well, at this point, oh, at this point, probably they're not too sure about the sheep count, but you know, if you can nab one here or there, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta try and take something back after your boar's been stolen.
Yep. Do you think it would have been almost better for Dogao just to stay at home and push the deer in towards his mill or TC instead of trying to go for the counter boar steal?
No, definitely not with his map because the deer are very far away, like almost a whole screen off and down a hill. So
Yeah, but maybe push
I would
towards the mill
much rather.
instead of building another mill there?
I think you definitely would want to try and go for the counter steal first, and then I still think it's better to kind of be scouting your enemy than to be luring deer.
Okay, so Yo.
Just really
Mm-hmm.
too bad for Dogao that yet again, he's on the back foot right away.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see if he can do something similar to what Yo did in the first game. I think it's going to be a little bit harder since it is a Mongol war and Yo's going to be up so fast to Feudal Age. We're going to see the early scouts. He clicked up at 6 minutes and 48 seconds, so he's going to be up to Feudal Age before 9 minutes, whereas Dogao clicking up almost a full minute later than Yo.
This seems almost like a suicidal strategy to me, going forward against a Mongol with 3 boars.
Yeah, definitely not what you see happening very often.
Now, like, he's got so much food.
And he's now in Feudal Age as well. He's even taking the deer right next to his TC. He's used his Vil to kind of, when they pushed the deer back, he killed it off quite close to his TC. Now, building the stable while Dogao's building his barracks. Dogao should be up to Feudal Age soon as well. He will be able to get the spears out.
Yo's about to scout this, and really, if he scouts it, I'm not sure how much longer Dogao's gonna be able to, Oh, but he didn't scout it. Actually,
nope. He went home.
Turned around.
Oh, yeah, he went back to Dogao's base. He wants to see what Dogao's doing. So, a bit of good news for Dogao. That means that his forward is going to be a bit of a surprise. He has micro-walled his Vils in on the lumber camp, which is very important. Going to keep them nice and safe. And his Vils on the deer should be done soon, so he'll take them back to the TC.
It has to be confusing for Yo. He sees one lumber camp. He doesn't see a lot of farms. And Dogao is up too, so...
Oh, Yo going forward with 3 Vils now. And the first tower coming up already for Dogao. He does see it though, so let's see what his response is.
Well, it's a little bit of a tricky spot for him now, because he's already sent the Vils forward, and he only has 3 scouts. Really, not spotting that forward was a huge moment, because he would have been able to go there with just scouts and make nice picks.
But it looks like he's happy to go for the counterplay and tower Dogao's wood line. Is that tower even gonna reach?
I think it will. It would be a lot more effective of a tower if it was 2 or 3 tiles closer.
Yeah, and he knows Dogao's forward.
Yeah, certainly Dogao's going to be able to use that wood camp a little longer.
It seems like we're seeing the archery range come out now for Yo. He has already built that aggressive tower, and it does in fact reach, okay. Wow, yeah, I didn't think it was going to reach.
The magic of elevation.
I suppose he must be much more experienced than us when it comes to building towers, so he knows exactly how far to build it.
It doesn't reach the other side, so really Dogao can keep using that.
It's just going to be less efficient. He already has too many villagers working on that. And pretty nice micro coming out from Yo. He hasn't taken too much damage on his scout so far from the spears, doing quite a bit of damage to the skirms. And yeah, microing down the spears with his Vils. This is fancy footwork. I feel dizzy just watching it. Alright, so it looks like you're too lazy to micro the scouts now. He's just going to use the Vils alone and just force them away, continuing to try and pick off the skirms. Keeping his scouts almost completely alive. One going down, but a spear going down. Now Yo does have his own skirmishes and he should be able to clear this up fairly easily.
Yeah,
alright.
One thing in Dogao's favor right now is Yo has a lot of idle Vils. And he's not taking his berries either, so...
Yep. But, I mean, the extra boar, and he took all 4 deer as well. Now he's going to wall off the rest of his map. It seems, only single lumber camp for both players, but you're now going for a second lumber camp. He does have army, and looks like Dogao's still sticking to the spears and skirms forward, and Yo's going to be dropping the mining camp at the front to continue towering Dogao's base, but Dogao already having a defensive tower on his new wood line to keep that nice and safe.
I don't like that from Dogao, though. I think if he's gone for this forward here, and he kind of has a foothold, he should focus more aggression. It's kind of giving up the aggression and almost admitting you're not going to make any more attacks in feudal age, or at least for a long time, by going into this tower your own base and make eco style.
Okay. I'm looking at OBS and I'm not dropping any more frames. I think I did drop a few frames for a bit, but it was like 0.2%, so I'm not sure if it's still lagging. It shouldn't be.
Nice little pick here of two skirmishers from Yo's army that Yo is trying to send forward.
Yep.
And
it looks
really,
like Dogao going for the next tower? What's he doing with those vills? He should be going for the next tower, I think, but Yo's already walled off, so he's going to get plenty of warning that Dogao is going for that. Yo already throwing up another tower, but not in the best position. What's Yo doing with those scouts? They're dying to towers. Okay.
Yeah, Dogao doesn't see the wall off, and now he does. It's a nice wall off by Yo. It really prevents Dog from putting any towers behind his wood line and attacking him from that direction. He's quite safe, actually, all the way to his TC, so...
Yep, it looks like Yo going straight for the stone walls, so... not gonna say, yeah, you know, not going to
yeah, and he sent
take any
a lot
risks.
of bills, which was important here. Although he didn't wall.
He picked the wrong wall piece. Okay, well...
Like, that was pretty sloppy, honestly. But now Dugout's in. See if he can do some more damage.
He could get one bill here, or maybe two. Nope, the skirm's getting trapped in the wall and not really being able to get in there, so now Yo, he's gonna lose that use of that lumber camp there, but he should still be able to.
This is a huge switch, actually. If Dogao wasn't able to get in there, he would have really not been able to do any damage. But instead, this has actually already been quite good for him.
Yep.
And probably we're going to see one or two vills going down here.
Yo actually did a pretty good job of taking most of his lower health vills back to the TC. So he saved one or two already. He will lose one or two if Dogao's paying attention. 1, 2... No? 2, 3... Oh, and Yo won't get the... Oh, he gets the tower up, but he loses 3 or 4 villagers there.
At least 4. So
yeah.
That was a really nice move by Dogao there, being able to get in and put some aggression on.
And now it's 33 to 39 vills, so Dogao taking a clear advantage. It looks like Yo won't be able to do much with those scouts either. He just doesn't have enough army. Dogao even getting fletching now, so gonna be in even better position.
Well, the thing is, Yo does have wheelbarrow, so it's not as big an advantage in villager count as it might seem, but definitely looking better for Dogao now.
Yep. Where's Yo going with that bill? Okay, so he's gonna try and bill bash. Oh, he almost gets the wall off. He tried to get a wall off on that tower going, but doesn't manage to get it. And now using his skirms to micro down the spears from Dogao. And he will lose that bill. See, well, no more pressure coming in Dogao's base, so Dogao's pretty much keeping all the pressure on at Yo's base, which is very good for him. And Yo's tower almost going down.
It's a huge turnaround because it was looking there like Dogao wasn't going to be able to do any pressure, and Yo would have been free to kind of attack the main gold of Dogao and all the resources he has pretty much undefended at the front of his base there.
Nice tower micro there, tower repair micro rather from Dogao, releasing the one vill and repairing the tower a bit and garrisoning it just before the vill goes down, so.
Yeah, but with the tower war in Yo's base, like Yo is gonna win the tower war, but the Gao's certainly doing a good job prolonging it and kind of hurting the economy more and more.
Looking at Yo's economy, he's quite close to going Castle Age, and so is Dogao. What are you expecting to see in Castle Age from both players? Knights or crossbows?
I would expect to see knights from Yo, like certainly, probably from Dogao as well.
Okay, I'm expecting the same. I'm hoping they do go for that. I think it would be a bit of a mistake to go crossbows after all of the scrappy fighting and the towers being built in both of their bases. Having a look at well, it looks like Yo wants to continue the tower push. Looking at the front of Dogao's base, he does have a tower going up, and he's got a couple of scouts there, 2 scouts to help out, as well as his own tower to defend. Dogao is bringing in his entire army to help out, but I think... Oh, nice micro by Dogao. Will be able to pick off the scouts. And I think Yo's tower will get denied at this rate. The skirm's coming in too quickly. He's desperately trying to get the tower up.
Gonna be close.
No, I think he's gonna get denied. And he's just gonna give up. Alright. So, nice defense by Dogao, and spotting that tower out just in time. He's gonna lose a couple more vills potentially for this. Nope.
He definitely will.
So Yo's going to lose at least 2 of these 3 vills. He's bringing in his own skirms. Is on the way to Castle Age a little bit earlier than Dogao here. Oh, surprising that Dogao didn't manage to get 1 more vill there.
Well, those guys run fast.
Yeah, apparently they do. So, it looks like Bloodlines for Yo, definitely going for the Knights as we expected.
And same for Dogao. It's kind of funny. They're just throwing away their skirmishers against each other. They both realize, you know, how irrelevant those units will be in a matter of 1 minute or so.
And it looks like Yo going to head home now with his villagers. Not sure how he's going to get in with those 2 villagers. Is he going to delete a house, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I would expect. Oh, maybe
no? Siege Workshop, okay. Let's have a look at the upgrades. Scale Barding Armor now. They're going to be dead even on upgrades. Scale Barding Armor, so +1 armor, and Bloodlines for both players. 2 stables for Dogao, and it seems like 2 stables for Yo. You're going to have his knights out a little bit, excuse me, faster, as well as the Siege Workshop. Why Siege Workshop? Do you think he's maybe anticipating crossbows from Dogao instead of the knights?
I'm not sure. If you might make a mangonel like right away and just try and be aggressive with it somehow, but definitely a monastery would have been more useful to him right away.
Looks like
pumping out a ram. He wants to make sure that that tower dies, so he's making a ram.
Alright. And it looks like Dogao's playing more defensive here with the camels coming out right away. Yo's still going for the knights, taking a bad fight there, and he should probably head home now. So Dogao's being more defensive, but those camels not going to be able to raid.
The villager count is even now. Oh, Dogao's just... Yeah, how has that happened? That's a little strange, actually.
I'm not too sure either. Maybe Dogao idled a little bit to click up to Castle Age.
Oh. And he did lose, Dogao had some forward bills. I just saw 1 die.
Yep. The other died a little earlier, to a scout, I believe. So...
I feel like Dogao really needs to either put a TC or add monks. Make sure that he's safe at the front entrance to his base here.
Yep, and Camel's obviously moving a little faster than Knights, pretty good at chasing them down. Yo just gonna stick to the hill. He's made a monastery, so he's gonna be starting to pump out those monks to defend against these camels from Dogao and sends the low health knight back home. In the meantime, adding in some camels of his own and continuing to take down the buildings of Dogao at the front. In terms of economy, I'm seeing only one TC for Yo. For Dogao, he is dropping his second TC at the front. That's going to secure himself the more wood, as well as securing his main gold pile, which is quite nearby, quite close.
It's a commanding hill as well.
Yeah.
That hill that Dogao is TCing almost in the middle of the map. That's a good place to control.
Yep, and it also secures a lot of his own resources and the entrance into his base. I mean, Yo doesn't have as nice of a place to attack from now that Dogao secured that area of the map, whereas Yo still, well, there we go. There's the second TC coming up on the forward stone pile for Yo as well. And Monk's out for Dogao.
Kind of stabilized here. Neither player can really attack the other. So I guess they might just try and boom up a little bit here. And then maybe go for a castle drop or just for Imperial.
Who do you think that favors if they just boom? You're now going for his third TC. I think he has a slightly stronger economy. I'm looking at his resources. He's quite a bit closer going to Imp, but I don't know why he would go Imperial Age this early. He doesn't have enough stone for a castle.
We're not going to see Imp until, you know, they get a little stronger economies, but I'm just not sure if either of them is going to be able to get an advantage in the camel and monk war here. It's a lot of camels for Dogao there.
It looks like Yo is pretty happy just to play defensive back at home, but his eco balance is looking pretty horrendous right now. Almost 1,000 wood in the bank, and he's not doing much with it either.
It's the kind of thing that happens in a game. It's a little, you know, not sloppy, but it's a little messy, I guess you'd say. Like the map doesn't suit towards boom either. It's almost difficult to find a spot to put a TC.
So both players collecting relics now. It looks like Dogao's eco balance slightly better, but he's got a bit too much gold. And for Yo, he spent some of that wood now, but still has 600 odd wood in the bank. Maybe get the Imperial Age. Well, he's got both Imperial Age buildings already, so he doesn't even need to worry about that when he's ready to go Imp.
Yeah, it's a bonus. You can't make that, like, dumb mistake where you collect all your resources, you're like...
And you just...
evilly, you go to click the button and then you get denied.
Just idle for like
qualified.
a minute.
So Yo is collecting relics, as is Dogao.
Yep.
I think they both have two.
Yep, sounds about right. And it looks like Yo just clearing up all the buildings at the front. Is it line of sight? You also might want to take control of that hill with a castle later on in front of his secondary gold, and it's a pretty nice spot to attack from.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a weird Imperial, I feel, because that hill from Dogao, if he puts his castles there, it's going to be very difficult to push.
Yep.
But also for Yo, if, you know, he puts his castles back on the hill, it'll be the same thing, so we'll have to see if either player tries to go aggressive with their castle placement. They're both heavily on stone.
Interestingly enough, Yo's choosing to go for the mangonel, maybe wanting to take down some of those monks.
Dogao is trying to go for a very aggressive castle here.
Oh wow, I don't know if he's going to get a castle there. That is risky. And immediately you see Yo go for the monks with his mangonel.
Yeah, and a lot of the hill engagement here, it's going to be so crucial. And
okay, so Dogao changes his mind, decides to go for the slightly safer castle on top of that hill, which I definitely think was the right decision, and it looks like Yo's managed to defend, but Dogao wins that fight.
I don't know, if I was Dogao there, it looked like he had enough army that he could have stuck with his original castle, actually.
I think so too, but Yo is now on the way to Imperial Age. Oh, he doesn't get the wall off, so Dogao will be able to delay that castle from going up and at least kill off quite a few villages, with the vill count being so even that is actually really going to hurt Yo.
Yeah, but the Imperial time for Yo is
Mm,
it's a big advantage here.
yeah, it's
It's
Trebs and that castle from Dogao going to be in trouble. If Dogao goes for... Does he have stone? He goes for another castle there! This is not going to be good for Dogao at all. Yo's going to have Trebs sitting on his castle, and then he's going to be able to treb down both castles. Probably the
well,
one...
Dogao is only his
Oh.
1 minute. He's 1 minute behind, so
Yep, not too bad. So,
he might actually have a chance here in the Treb
the
War.
Mangonel. Sneaky Mangonel from Yo. I think he was considering going for the Vil kills if it came out a little earlier, but the castle is complete and he's not going to risk it now.
Yeah,
Where's Yo
it's
going?
definitely it's kind of an all or nothing Treb War coming up here for Dogao.
He should have an advantage though, because he's going to have two castles. Even though he's going to reach Imperial Age a little bit later. Looks like Yo's heading across the map, finding some extra stone piles to take. A little risky, but
Yeah, it's a little risky, but his original stone piles are under a lot of pressure here, so I suppose it's understandable.
yep.
I would like to see a couple rams massed up in the siege workshop here.
Oh, and Dogao's gonna see this. He's got Vils heading in the same area, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, he knows there's a stone pile there, and he's gonna see the TC coming up from Yo. I don't think he's not going to be able to deny it with that number of Vils, but his army is heading across the map, so is Yo's. Looks like Dogao's just gonna send some Mangudai over to try and deny it. In the meantime, the Treb War should be on the way. First Treb on the way for Yo, and second queued up as well. Which castle do you think he should prioritize? The one closer? Probably. It's also taken some more damage.
Definitely prioritize the castle on the same elevation. You don't want to attack the castle uphill here because it'll die slower.
Yep.
Therefore, the enemy can pump out more trebs.
It looks like Dogao's going for a castle drop on that stone pile. Yo has just managed to secure himself. Yo desperately trying to deny it with some camels, but that castle will go up, and it doesn't look like Yo's going to be able to take stone for much longer there.
I like this from Dogao. He's researching capped ram, and he's making a ram in his forward, by the forward castles, so he's gonna try and go for some treb snipes with rams. And Yo really can't afford to be idling a trebuchet here for...
He's running away with the Vils at the back, so that's what he was concentrating on. Since he was forced away from that stone pile with that castle coming up from Dogao, and it actually looks like Dogao's in such a strong position this game. If any game were his game, this game is looking like it's it. I mean, his feudal age pressure was pretty damn good, and he's reached Imperial Age. He's in a good position with the two castles at the front and the castle at the back as well. And Yo will lose this castle, it seems.
Yeah, I think we might even see, if Yo loses his trebs, that might be it for him.
Yep, he's lost the castle,
Oh,
and the Trebs should survive. Okay, so...
he was able to kill the one castle from
Dogao?
Dogao there.
Okay, so Yo now
Going
just...
for elite skirms, so good choice. It's all he can do now because he didn't have enough stone to go for more castles. So he's gonna try to go for the trash combo here.
Doesn't
But
look like
Dogao's
there's
really,
much that Yo can do. I mean, he's going for elite skirms against two castle
I wouldn't say
Mangudai.
that, because this castle here from Dogao is actually downhill from Yo here, and if he's able to take this castle out, then Dogao is down to only one, and he's gonna struggle to make enough army to...
But Yo's not repairing his Trebs, so it looks like he's gonna lose the Trebs there. He's already lost one, And he could be very close to losing more.
He just needs to keep them alive for maybe 2 more volleys or 3 more volleys.
Yep.
And it's actually a good position for him to be fighting. You see he's really cutting up these camels and mangadais.
He's only got 1 bill repairing. He needs to bring in more. That Treb is almost down, but the castle goes down at the same time.
And now he's not in a bad position here, because only 1 castle for Dogao. He's not making any other kind of army, really. He has to watch out he doesn't, get so behind in the army count that he gets under pressure.
And it looks like Dogao, one of the Trebs, in a bit of trouble there. Yo desperately trying to take it down with his elite skirms, and his Mangadai does get the 1 Treb.
Mangadai bonus against Siege. He never counted out.
I'm a little surprised Dogao isn't just targeting down the Mangadai, and that's exactly what he did, taking down 2 with his Trebs. They're the only really effective units that Yo has right now. The elite skirms are great against the Mangadai from Dogao, but terrible against the Rams and the Trebs. So the Rams now coming in, and we're seeing Yo go for Hussar as well.
He doesn't have very many stables, though.
He doesn't have the economy for the many stables anyway, so...
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Probably what he wants to be doing is kill all the Mangadais, and then maybe the Hussars can take care of the Rams. But he hasn't been able to do that yet.
And we see Dogao making the transition into light cav as well, now to clear up all of the elite skirms. Very effective, and now it looks like Yo throwing up a defensive castle on his secondary gold pile, but if that castle gets pushed down, I think it'll be GG for Mr. Yo. He doesn't have access to his other gold pile, which is at the front, towards the middle of the map.
Not going to be able to push down that castle yet.
Yep, not yet, but he needs a little more army.
Yo does have 3 relics as well, but it still feels like Dogao has the map control, he's got the better army.
And even getting masonry, which is very important. And replacing the castle on top of the hill, it looks like he's going for... what's he using his Trebs for?
Just clearing space, killing anything that moves.
I see. Well, effective enough. It looks like Yo just throwing trash at Dogao now, as much as possible, but it does seem like Dogao in a commanding position to take the game, as long as he defends those Trebs. He needs to keep those Trebs alive, can't allow Yo to snipe any Trebs. Looks like Yo will get at least 1, and that's it. Okay, so he gets 1 Treb.
Yeah, and he lost 1 at the same time. Alright.
Okay, so he lost 1, so that's a pretty fair trade, actually a better trade for Dogao, who now does have elite Mangadai almost complete. Well, it's complete on the screen, but and raiding with a couple of his elite Mangadai across the map at the same time. Not really massing his army up at the front too much to go for that big push. I think that will be his next order of business. Gonna bring in all those units, make sure that he clears out that castle for Yo and takes control of that hill. And then it will be pretty much,
Dogao is lacking the chemistry.
Let me drink some more water.
It's the second game that he just missed it.
Alright, so Yo still with the Hussar. Actually, Yo getting elite Mangadai himself, so looks like Yo on the right hand side still does have that castle up and running. Dogao did mine out all the stone there though, so biggest problem for Yo is the fact that Dogao has had access to all the stone piles pretty much, apart from 1, and the gold at the front that was Yo's secondary gold pile also being taken by Dogao there.
Yeah, the extra gold piles.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at them, there's 2 of them to the left of the map here. Probably if Dogao secures those, that's probably it, but you know, if Yo's able to take control of those, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Dogao needs to mass his units up a little more, but now he has all of these light cav coming in. That should be more than enough to soak up the damage from Yo's units, and then he can move to the top of the hill. Needs to move.
You can't, because the +2 defense light calves, they just melt against the...
He had quite a lot, but he was just firing uphill for so long as well, and that was not a great fight.
Like, the population is still even, so...
Yep.
Yo is doing a really good job defending after losing the castle war. Really, he's showing off his deathmatch skills here.
Oh, okay. And he's gonna snipe a trap from Dogao. Is Dogao giving Yo too much room to breathe and allowing him potentially to come back and win the game?
Well, Yo's just playing great right now.
He is, and it's also the Hussar. I think the Hussar are quite vital to this. Yo going for the Hussar upgrade nice and early, and he's been raiding with the Hussar. He's been pretty much a nuisance with them as well.
And he hasn't let Dogao ever take control of that hill. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny. It's just like we were talking about at the start. Like Dogao's on his hill, he's not really able to push onto Yo's hill, and all the fighting has been in that one spot, pretty much.
And I feel like Yo's done a better job of conserving gold units. Like, Dogao has lost his gold units a lot more than Yo has. Yo's throwing a lot of trash at Dogao that he's losing, but his Mangadai he's mostly kept alive.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're quite even. Like, the amount of Mangadais, it really does seem quite even. Hope Yo doesn't lose. He's running with a raid pack here at the bottom, but it was kind of a trap.
Yep, he's gonna get trapped, he's gonna lose them now, and that is pretty big for Dogao. On the other side, it looks like Dogao and Yo duking it out on the right-hand side as well.
The castle should be going down from Dog here now. It's gonna be good for Yo.
Yep, and Yo's found the extra gold piles now, cleared out Dogao's villages, and now he's mining it himself, but Dogao's got one Mangadai there, and he did manage to win the fight on the right-hand side, even though he just lost all of his Mangadai down in the left-hand corner, but he is now ram-rushing that castle as well as trebbing it down, as you said earlier, and he's got more than enough there to take it down. Dogao losing yet another castle, finally getting Hussar upgrade. I think it's a little late, but better late than never.
I think Yo needs to probably retreat right now. It's a lot of elite Mangadais from Dogao there.
Yep. And notice how he retreats his Manganai first, so he's conserving his gold units, and, well, he doesn't mind too much about the Hussar and the elite skirms.
Yep. Really, this very left corner of the map is being neglected a little bit.
Yeah, they're both trying to go for that the gold there, but
I think both of them only see one gold. Dogao sees 2 now. He sees 1 tile of the second gold in the left corner. So.
Now Yo's traps could be in trouble. Looks like he's just gonna keep them safe on top of the hill, out of the way of Dogao's Manganai, and he's going for a bit of a push on the right-hand side as well with his Hussar. Looks like Dogao is preparing to make some rams and push on that side of the map, but you're spotting that out and clearing it out with Hussar, continuing to raid a little bit with his Hussar as well into the woodline of Dogao. But really good job by both players, fighting on both sides of the map at the same time.
Yeah, this is both of them are playing really good. It's a lot of action.
Yep. And it looks like Yo's going to secure himself that gold once again with the Hussar and the Mangadai coming in. On the right-hand side, losing some bills there, but you've got to be careful with the Mangadai. Doesn't want to lose them.
They're both on 2 castles now, but the military count is 46 to 20 for Yo. And he has control of the gold piles. He has 3 relics. Yo might just be turning the tide here slowly.
Yeah, I mean, just a really, really clutch defense on top of that hill, not allowing Dogao to get up there and take down that castle there on the hill that was defending his secondary gold. If he lost that castle, it was pretty much game over there. It would have been very, very hard for him to come back, but now he's even secured himself that secondary gold pile at the front. On the left-hand side. Yeah.
Really, you gotta say, he is outplaying Dogao in the quote-unquote Imperial Mongols. I guess it's not really post-Imperial, because there's no siege, so... But it's looking better and better for Yo, although I feel like he might have gotten a little too aggressive trying to treb the castle here.
That's a lot of elite Mangadai from Dogao. I don't know if Yo has enough units there.
Surely Yo is gonna have all of this get cleaned up very shortly. It's actually a pretty big loss at this stage. 2 trebs. He's
gonna save his Mangadai and just give up on the trebs. Not worth losing his Mangadai for the trebs, it seems. And... well, he does have access to the gold, so that's something that Dogao doesn't have at this point in the game. And he is raiding all over the place with the Hussar. You can see all the red dots in the middle. Oh, Dogao didn't have Thumb Ring for all of this time.
Oh, that's a huge oversight.
No chemistry and no Thumb Ring. Oh, man.
Is he still not... oh, he still doesn't have chemistry either.
Yes.
Wow. You can pretty much look at those 2 mistakes, and that's pretty much why he's, you know, in the position he is right now.
Yeah, not a great
gotta
position.
Imagine if he had chemistry and Thumb Ring this whole time, he'd be winning, you know, those close fights would be going more and more in his favor.
Yeah, that is really painful for Dogao. I feel like maybe if he had those 2 upgrades, that uphill push would have gone 100 times better.
And we're criticizing Dogao, but Yo is also lacking Parthian tactics and blast furnace.
Yeah, neither of them have blast furnace, but he's lacking Parthian tactics.
Yeah, blast furnace, it's not the biggest loss in the world because it is expensive, but
Parthian tactics he definitely should have.
well, if you're fighting with Mangadais, then that's one upgrade you definitely want, and this could be a good engagement for Yo here.
Yep.
It's all uphill.
But good job by Dogao. He's actually managed to save all of his elite Mangadai, and he only lost some Hussar there, which is okay. Both players just going back and forth with their units, making sure they keep their Hussar, well, their elite Mangadai on top of the hill and alive, and only throwing away trash units, or at least semi-trash in the form of Hussar.
Yo is starting to build up a bank here, and he's also got the relic advantage. So really, you know, especially if Dogao doesn't get chemistry, it's gonna be pretty much impossible.
Yeah, Dogao, actually, I'm looking at the military, he had 70-65 for a bit, but then big fight, and Yo's just gonna run away with his Mangadai. He did lose quite a bit there, so a good fight for Dogao on the left-hand side, but in the meantime I'm seeing about 20 Hussar about to run into the economy of Dogao.
And once those Mangadais from Dogao die, he has no way to remake them. Whereas Yo, he's still got 1,200 gold in the bank, so...
Yeah. And he's got, still has that secondary gold that he's mining. He was forced off the extra gold pile there by some Hussar, but Should be able to go back onto that gold pile pretty soon, as soon as he secures that area of the map once again.
And it looks like he's securing it right now. He's killing off a lot of skirmishers and hussars.
Yep.
Oh, and here the Mangadai from Dogao all go down.
Yep. Okay, well, he realizes how bad that is. He's been conserving them really well so far in the game, but now that he's lost it, he's in big trouble, and it looks like this may be the beginning of the end for Dogao.
Yeah, well, the military count, it's 80 army for Yo at this point, with a bank of gold, so that's going to be really hard to stop.
Yeah. He's just been so good at conserving his elite Mangadai and throwing away trash at Dogao. I mean, Dogao was doing a very good job for a while as well.
He fought a lot more efficiently.
Yeah.
All through the Imperial Age.
And you attribute this to the deathmatch experience that he has?
What's that?
A deathmatch experience that he has? You attribute it to that?
Well, he's quite strong in deathmatch, so it's kind of a game is right up his alley.
Yep. Well,
Especially with Mongols.
yeah, he did play Mongols for the team deathmatch games that they played during, yep.
All in Nation Cup, he played Mongols as well. So he knows this civ like the back of his hand.
Yep, and there we go, the GG being called by Dogao.
You gotta say, it was really well played. Dogao put in good effort this game. He made a lot of nice moves, but just wasn't able to put Yo away. You gotta say well played to Yo for the game and the series.
But very, very nice defense by Yo. A little unfortunate with Dogao missing some pretty key upgrades there when he was going for the push. That could have made a difference, but either way, let's have a look at the achievements now. 578 units killed to 547 lost. Same number of buildings razed and lost for both players, and 86 to 70 largest army. In terms of economy, similar amounts of gold collected actually for Yo, so you can just see how much more efficient he was with his units in that respect. More stone for Dogao, more wood for Dogao, a little bit more food for Yo. And uptimes fairly similar across the board. 5 to 3 castles and 3 relics in favor of Yo to 2 relics for Dogao, so 2.2k relic gold to 3.3k, and Vilhai 141 to 131. And that takes it to 3-0 in favor of Yo, so I mean, I guess we were all wrong with our predictions. Most of us said either 3-1 for Yo, or Smarty said 3-2 for Dogao.
I like how those are the two categories.
Those are the two categories I saw.
And Smarty screwed it all up.
No, well, you know, it's good for someone to have faith in Dogao as well. Smarty had faith in Dogao.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess Yo is pretty much guaranteed to advance to the next stage now, so Dogao is basically out of the tournament after this loss as well, so...
That takes Yo to 12 points with one set of games with Vinch to go. So maximum of 15 points for Yo out of a maximum of 15 points that he can get, potentially.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Strong player. Probably, you know, a guy you would expect to see in the quarterfinals.
Okay, well, thank you for co-casting.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and watching the stream.
And listening to Liam co-cast, very top expert commentary there coming out of Liam, predicting much of what happened.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, well, you know, I have to say nice stuff here, don't I?
Yes, yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
It's killing me on the inside, but I'll do it. Okay. Thank you all for watching, and thank you again to Liam for co-casting, and I'm going to end the stream here.
All right. Goodbye.